Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? It's warming up tonight, Sunday, and I think tonight is supposed to go back down to freezing until March 2nd and 3rd. Well, anyways, I saw some movies last night. I thought I'd give you a recap of them. They're all older movies. One of them is Richard Pryor Live at the Sunset Strip. I might as well start that off first because he's the most iconic. Such an iconic comedian we lost. Uh, and the second is Anacondas, Search of the Blood Orchid. And the third is on Netflix. Someone on Netflix made a while back called Naked Ambition, an R-rated look at the X-rated industry. So the first one is Richard Pryor Live on Sunset Strip. Saw it on Encore on Demand. I remember in the 80s he came out. Well, he had a couple in the 70s like Richard Pryor Live and Con. I've seen a bunch of them. I remember renting Here and Now. I never rented Live on Sunset Strip. The most iconic, I think the most famous of his concert movies. And I remember in Germany I bought it on Good Times Home Video because Good Times Home Video had a thing with Columbia. And I thought I'd watch it again. I've seen it like 7, 8 times. And I thought I'd watch it again last night on Encore. I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time. I thought my dad would enjoy it. Well, as usual, he hated it. He didn't think it was funny at all. He said, "This is pathetic." I don't know about my dad. He hates everything. And no, it's such iconic. It was filmed on the Sunset Strip, of course. He was in a. This was after his unfortunate incident where he caught himself on fire, and he's wearing a flame red suit. And there's lots of jokes that he did about what happened. And if you don't remember it, and then later on, a few years later, he did a movie called JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling, which he recalls a lot of these events. And a lot of the stuff he talks about in his comedy routine on Live is in JoJo Dancer. And it's all true. And basically, he talks about, stuff, a whole bunch of stuff, including like stuff with guys getting their heart broken. Is so spot on. I mean, I remember seeing that as like he did a really great job. Like he was saying, like as a guy, you don't graduate until you get your heart broke. There's your diploma, and it's really good. And it's such a tragic loss. He passed away because his humor spanned over all races and stuff like that. I mean, I don't talk about race on my channel, but it is all races, And it was just brilliant, so truthful. And the stuff about talking about Jim Brown and the fire and stuff, and also about stuff behind the scenes on of the movie Stir Crazy when he worked at the penitentiary in Arizona. And that was another great movie, Stir Crazy. I mean, I love this movie. It's so true what he said, so honest. And it's funny. I don't know what my dad was just sitting there like, this ain't funny. I don't understand. But it's such an iconic, great movie. Very funny, very awesome. Gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Richard Pryor was probably the best stand-up comedian we ever had. And it's definitely a 10 out of 10. Like, I mean, Here and Now was really good, but it wasn't as good as Live on Sunset Strip. That was his best concert film. So I give that a 10 out of 10 for that one. Now, next one is Anaconda Search of the Blood or Hunt for the Blood Orchid. And this is one I knew about for a long time, and then I put off seeing it for a while. Because one thing, if you see like a movie and there's a sequel to it, and you see the title, and underneath they have a big like something else, another title underneath, and if it has nothing to do with the movie, it's probably not going to have that much to do with Anacondas. I mean, her Hunt for Blood. It's like if you've seen Halloween 3 and underneath says Season of the Witch. Had nothing to do with Michael Myers, if you remember that one with Silver Shamrock Mask, even though I like that movie. And this one is more about Hunt for the Blood Orchid. And I'm not giving away any spoilers on this. In Rue Morgue, they did a review of it for a while, and that's why I really didn't want to. I put off watch this for a long time. I had a lot of chances to see it, And he said, what would you expect from a movie called Anacondas? And he said, maybe some freaking anacondas in the movie. They don't show that many snakes in it. Uh, they show the anacondas sporadically throughout the movie. And then Rue Morgue said they showed them a lot during the last 20 minutes. No, they really didn't. They didn't do it that much. I'm not really giving anything away. I'm just letting you know. It's more about Hunt for the Blood Orchid because these guys, the scientists find this flower, and they had like one or two, and they don't have it anymore. And they found that it could be the actual fountain of youth. And it's a weird flower. It grows every it takes 7 years for it to grow, and then when it matures, it blooms. It only blooms for a couple of weeks, and then after that, it's done, and it takes another 7 years for it to do that. And they said that it's in bloom right now, and they wanted the money from this resource corporation to go down there and get some more. And they finally gave it to them, and then they go to Borneo. They get with this one captain of this boat, and the boat's a piece of crap. And they go through this river, all these obstacles to try to find more of these things. And it's no name cast. Like the original Anaconda had like Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube and all these famous people in it. This one doesn't have any famous people in it. And actually, when I first saw it, first heard of it, I thought maybe that should have been a direct-to-video movie. I think a lot of people said it would, but they decided to release it to the theaters anyways. And, it's alright. Like I said, it's more about the hunt for the blood orchid. And I was thinking, I haven't thought about this movie in a long time. I put it off. I said, I don't want to waste my time on this. And when I saw it as on demand on Encore, I was thinking about it at work. I said, maybe with all the cold weather, maybe I should watch the movie in the hot, stinky jungle. Since all the cold, and I said, man, maybe it might be all right. And as the Anaconda, the original Anaconda, is more horror oriented. That was like a horror action adventure. This one's like an action adventure horror with some horror in it. But I liked the movie for what it was. It's not like an award winner. I give it probably a 7 out of 10. It's not bad for what it was, as long as you know it's not primarily about anacondas. The anacondas is like a side note. They're in the movie, but like that. The only thing I will say that they showed a lot of anacondas in daylight in the original Anaconda. A lot of the CGI looked really fake. Now in this one, it's usually more darkly lit, so the anacondas looked a little bit better. But that's about, whenever you saw them, they looked a little better. But that's about it. If I give it a 7 out of 10, my dad said it was okay. And now the next movie is my dad fell asleep during this one. Saw it on Netflix. It was Naked Ambition, an R-rated look at the X-rated industry. And this guy said he became a famous photographer for AIP and celebrities and stuff. He became fascinated with AVN trade show. AVN is Adult Video News. I would love to go to this thing in Las Vegas where they show all the new gadgets and you get to meet your favorite porn stars. That's what I'd like to do. I'd do some videos there. May have some of the porn stars endorse my channel and put it on my channel. That would be so cool. And he wanted to do a coffee table book. We're showing like photos of the porn star in the industry and like gadgets and devices, but he wanted to make it artistic. He didn't want to make a porno book, but he wanted to capture sexuality in like a genuine artistic way, kind of, but in a way that still, he didn't want to make a book about porn. He wanted to do like a mainstream coffee table book that most people would buy, but he wanted to show sexuality in a way. It's definitely not hardcore porn. It's soft. It would be considered erotica, which is a form of pornography anyways. But it's a very interesting movie. I give that probably a 8.5 out of 10. It's interesting because I saw a couple of the other ones, Truth of Webcam Girls, and one other one that was kind of really boring. This one's actually interesting. So that's a good one too. So there you have it for my 3 movie reviews. And also, I was checking out Shipping Wars because they got so many TV. I think my sister watches TV shows a lot on Netflix. And I was checking out Ground for Life, which I haven't seen in ages. Yeah, that's what I saw 2 episodes. Those are 10 out of 10s. And I was on Shipping Wars. And it was cool. I started from the very beginning because I didn't watch the show till late, and there's some episodes I never saw before. Really good. Those are 10 out of 10 too. So until next time, everybody, please take care, my legion.